5 big weight loss mistakes. I'm going to share them with you and tell you what I've done differently. Hi guys, thank you so much for being here with me today on this video. My name is Angela and thank you for coming and spending a little time out with me today. And today I'm going to share with you something really personal. I'm going to share with you some of the biggest weight loss mistakes that I have made that held me back from achieving good health and achieving my overall weight loss goals. And more importantly, I'm going to share with you what I'm doing differently so that I have been able to lose and continue to lose 165 pounds to date, and I'm still losing. So I'm going to share those tips with you. So whether you're just starting on your weight loss journey, or maybe you've been on your journey a while, maybe you've hit some brick walls and some challenges, maybe you're a little bit stuck. Well, I hope that this video today is going to give you a little bit of clarity, hopefully some encouragement, and maybe even a few tips and ideas so that you could cut through the noise in the weight loss industry so you too can gain weight loss success. Because I really do believe that weight loss when we're in our 20s and 30s is very different to when we're in our 50s. I'm 58 and I started my weight loss journey 6 years ago. So I was 52 when I started my weight loss journey, and I've learned a lot about me and my body, my body changes, and have had to come and accept some things in my 50s, whereas weight loss in my 20s, in my 30s was very, very different. So I hope that this video is going to be of value to you. I've got 5 really big tips, so I hope that you will stay with me right to the end to hear those. Okay guys, so without further ado, let's jump straight in. So number one of the biggest mistakes I have made on my weight loss journey is looking for those plans and programs that would give me quick fixes. And that included things like the shakes, the teas, extreme calorie counting, reducing my calories, anything that promised quick and fast weight loss was a massive mistake for me. Because what I realised when I was on those programs was, yes, if I did restrict my calories, if I restrict the foods that I ate, if I just lived on 3 shakes a day, then yes, the weight was going to come off. But I was very miserable, very unhappy. And as soon as I stopped those programs, the weight went back on, plus more. So what I learned was that it was a massive mistake for me to get on board with those crash diets, because it just did not bring sustainable weight loss. Plus it didn't teach me anything about healthy eating habits or a healthy lifestyle, or working on that mindset that I believe as a coach is absolutely critical to long-term weight loss success. So what I did is I ditched the diet mindset and the diet lifestyle, and that for me included walking away from programs such as Weight Watchers and Slimming World, and all these weight loss programs on the market, keto, paleo, the Mediterranean. I needed to walk away from all of those things. And what I did is I went away and I did a course, and I'm not suggesting that you go and do a course because that's not practical for everyone. But what I did, I went away and I learned about nutrition, because I really believe nutrition is king. and I needed to nourish and feed my body without thinking about calories. Because, you know, what I'd learned with calories is that if, for example, 100 calories, for example, in a chocolate bar is not the same as 100 calories in something like an avocado. It just isn't the same, because the avocado is going to nourish my body with the fatty acids and all those macronutrients and the vitamins and the minerals, and my body is going to use that energy. It's going to burn that energy and make me feel good about myself and nourish my body. But those same 100 calories in a chocolate bar, my body is going to store it as fat. It's going to store it because there's no nutrients in there, not much anyway, and so my body is going to store that as fat. So I realized that programs like calorie counting, counting points and sins, and doing all these different diets just wasn't going to work for me. So I had to learn about nutrition. And I went away and educated myself about what my body needs to nourish itself, to fuel itself, so that as I'm nourishing and fueling my body can then release the fat and the weight that it needed to, because it would get nourished and then my body would turn to those fat stores and burn the fat stores that I'd stored on my body. It would burn that for the energy that I needed. So I am going to do a video, guys, about how to lose weight, and a little bit about what I've just talked about is nourishing our bodies so that our bodies can release the weight. So if that's the sort of thing you're interested in, then feel free to hit the subscribe button and also click the notification bell, and then as and when I upload that video you will be notified. So yes, so eating real food, food that I cook from scratch, and yeah, I will be honest, I still do have some processed foods. I will absolutely be honest about that, but more often than that I tend to go for single ingredient foods that I would cook from scratch. So, you know, meats, eggs, salmon, fish, things like that I would cook, and then a little bit of fruits, tend to be more berries, and then things like with the fatty acids like the avocados, and then vegetables like spinach. So yeah, once I learned what worked for me, then I started eating real food that were nutrient rich, and therefore I didn't need to worry about calories or sins or tracking anything or points. Didn't need to do any of that. So that was number one, is getting rid of all of those quick fixes. The second biggest mistake that I made on my journey is believing that I needed to get in the gym. And I would always be gym ready, always in the gym and physically active, but not paying attention to my food, or paying attention to my food and not working out, not being active. And I really believed I would be listening to lots of gurus and leaders and influencers, and I really believe that in order to lose weight I had to get physically active. I had to be in the gym, I had to be working out, I had to be doing all of these things. Well, as somebody with a physical disability and with limitations, mobility limitations, that was very discouraging for me, because I knew that I just couldn't do that consistently. There would be times that I was well enough to be able to get in the gym and move and do my workouts, and other times I just really struggled to get out of bed. So yeah, so I thought that I had to be physically active, and that was a really big mistake, because it really affected my mindset, and I was of the mind, well, if I can't get in the gym and work out, then what's the point? What's the point? And then I realised, well, no, actually, once I'd learned about nutrition and food, I realised actually what causes weight loss is what I eat. Working out is going to give me that, it's going to get the endorphins going, it's going to make me feel really good, it's going to boost my energy levels, it can help me sleep well, and it's going to tone and shape me. That's what activity does. And because I'm burning calories, then yes, it is going to contribute a little bit towards weight loss. But what I learned was that what causes weight loss is 80% what we eat. So I really did focus in on my food. And then what I also discovered was that you don't have to be in the gym if you don't want to. Just any kind of movement will help. So when I can, I will get out for a walk. Even if it's 10 minutes, I will get out for a walk. I love my garden. If you've seen any of my videos on the channel, you know that I love my garden. So getting out and being active in the garden is really good activity, because I'm bending, I'm stretching, I'm digging, I'm moving pots. All of that is still movement. And once I realised that all movement is good for the body, the mindset, my mental health, and is going to support me on my weight loss journey, I felt so much better about that. And of course, get involved in that now. But it was a really big mistake believing that I had to be in the gym. And that mindset really held me back. But now I know that any movement is good. The third big mistake that I made on my weight loss journey was not realizing the importance of sleep and rest, and also to reduce my stress levels. This was massive. This point is massive, because what I realised was I had a really busy job, a very stressful job. And we know that when we're stressed, all sorts of things are going on in our bodies and hormones are raging. And due to stress, it triggered my lupus, to the point that it affected my heart and my lungs, and I was desperately ill. And all of that was brought on by mainly stress. There's a few other environmental factors, but a lot of it was stress related. And what I was finding was, because I was stressed, I was drinking in order to release that stress, in order to relax. And because I was so stressed, I was busy, didn't have time to cook a well-balanced meal. So I was leaning into those processed foods and those ready meals. And all of that was causing this cycle of compounding my health and compounding my illness. That then was a vicious cycle, because I was drinking more alcohol, it was affecting my sleep. I couldn't sleep. I was menopausal as well. I couldn't sleep. And what I found was that if I'd had a drink in the evening, I would wake up in the middle of the night. I'd be sweating. I'd be having those hot flushes. I'd be tossing. I'd be turning. It would make my joints bad. And my joints are bad due to my arthritis anyway. But having alcohol would just balloon my joints up. That then contributed to poor sleep. Then I would wake up in the morning, didn't feel refreshed at all, felt tired and really sluggish, had no energy. My body, because again of those hormones, my body was looking for the carbohydrates to fix that energy level, to give me that energy. So I was eating the biscuits and the bread and the jams and all of that sweet carbohydrate stuff to give me the energy. but all it did was spike my energy levels, and then I would crash. I'd have some awful crashes, and then by 11 o'clock I was like flat out, had no energy, just wanted to go to sleep. That would then affect my mood, it would then affect my performance at work. It was just a vicious cycle. Come weekends, that was it. I was fit for nothing, just on the sofa. And then when I learned about nutrition, I realized actually this is a vicious cycle. And what I started to do was improve my sleep. So I created for myself a sleep routine, because once I realised that if I get good quality sleep, that's going to balance out my hormones. So, and I will do a separate video for you guys about my sleep routine if you're interested. But just to tell you quickly, every night actually my sleep routine starts every morning. So when I wake up in the morning, I have a bath, but then I prepare my room. I make the bed, fluff the pillows, shake out all the covers, the duvets and everything, open the windows to let the air come in and out. I clean my room every single morning, get me polish and my cloth and give it a bit of a clean, and leave my room really tidy, light my candles or my oil burner so it smells really nice. And then in the evening, what I then do is I then have a bath. I've got always clean pajamas every night, fresh pajamas, and then I come into my room. My bed is freshly made, the room is aired, it's clean, it smells good, and then I get into my bed. And 90% of the time, there are occasions where I have to work in bed, but more often than not, I don't work in my bedroom. My bedroom is designated for sleep. The only time I do sleep in my bedroom, to be totally honest, is if I'm editing a video and I'm in pain, I don't feel very well, then I will get into bed and get nice and comfy and edit. But generally I don't. My bedroom is just for sleeping. I do have a TV in the room, but I need to take it out actually, because I don't ever watch the TV in my room. I say never, very rarely do I watch it. So that is my sleep routine. Pillows, duvet, I'll have an electric blanket because I like to be warm. Even in the spring and summer, I like to be warm. My feet have to be warm. So I set my room up so that it supports good sleep. And once I started to sleep well, what I noticed was I would wake up in the mornings and I wasn't craving the carbs, wasn't craving the carbohydrates. So that then, and I practice intermittent fasting. And I'm also on Manjaro. I do want to add that in there for the full disclosure. But before I started on Manjaro, I would find that because I was getting good sleep, I could go till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock before needing my first meal of the day. And then I could then make those good food choices, and intermittent fasting then fitted perfectly into my life. And then at the other end of the scale, my last meal would be 6 o'clock, because I just can't sleep on a full stomach. It just messes my sleep up. So yeah, started practicing intermittent fasting. That works for me. And with that and mindful eating, started to see consistent weight loss month after month after month. Whereas prior, and when I was doing different plans, my weight was, yo-yoing. But saw consistent weight loss, but also felt really good about myself because now my hormones was much more balanced and I had the energy that my body needed. So once I understood the benefit of sleep, it really made a difference. And because I hadn't previously prioritized sleep, that was a massive mistake that really held me back on my weight loss journey. You see, one of the things that I'd realised on my journey, hence why, you know, I took all of that knowledge and became a coach, is people think that weight loss is all about the food that we eat. And yes, it is predominantly about the food that we eat, but it's also about other things such as sleep and our hormones. Really, really important. And I will do some more videos with my coaching hat, looking out of a coaching lens. I will do some videos about the weight loss journey that, you know, may help you from a coaching perspective. So again, if you want to catch up on those videos, then feel free to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. The fourth biggest mistake that I made on my weight loss journey that really held me back was comparing myself to others. And do you know what? It's so true. In every walk of life, it is said that a comparison is a thief of joy. And it truly, truly was for me. And that was a massive mistake that I made. And I used to look at other people and I used to say, well, you know, they've lost like 10 stones in a year. You know, why can't I lose that? I'd be happy with just 5 stones in a year. Well, that was their journey. But my journey was less than £0.5 a week. That was me and my journey. And that is my average. And now when I share my story of 11.5 stone gone, £165, people often say, I wish I could lose that. And I'm like, if you take it steady, don't think about the time, just take it steady, you can achieve that. And it is, like I said right at the top, ditching that quick weight loss mindset approach. And I really had to stop comparing myself with others, and I really had to focus in and look at my own journey and appreciate my body and my limitations, but also manage my expectations and say, you know what, I'm a disabled woman with lots of health challenges, with you know, a busy lifestyle, with children and grandchildren. You know, I don't get to the gym. So with all of these things, I had to manage my expectations. And consistently, when I was consistently losing less than £0.5 a week, I was like, that's good enough for me. So I really had to stop comparing. So now what I do is I celebrate me, I celebrate my successes, I celebrate my newfound shape and my body, I celebrate what my body can do. I celebrate the fact that, you know, I'm in smaller sizes. I feel good about myself. I celebrate all the compliments that I get. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that I took my journey at my pace and didn't feel pressured with the industry by all the media posts that you see in the industry. You know, whether it doesn't matter what it is, I see people losing quickly, calorie counting, on Manjaro, doing Ozempic, taking, doing Mediterranean or Weight Watchers or Slimming World. And I'm like, do you know what? That's them and that's their journey, but that's not me. And I'm not going to be envious of anybody's journey. But I had to work on my mindset. I had to stay firmly in my lane and work with my body. And I'm so glad that I did, because £165 off for me. So yeah, I had to stop comparing myself to other people on my journey. And the fifth mistake that I made on my journey was not asking for help. You know, I think there is, especially here in the UK, there is a culture that, you know, there is so much information out there that we should know what we're doing. And asking for help could be seen as a weakness. And it's interesting because I am in lots of weight loss support groups, and the amount of people that post anonymously asking for information, I always question that. I'm like, why? Is there an element of shame surrounded in asking questions and asking for help? Yeah, I just find it really interesting. But on my journey, at the start of my journey, I didn't ask for help. I just went along to my weight loss club, got weighed, and then sometimes, more often than not, I would get weighed and I would go. I wouldn't stay for information to support me in the week. I would just go. And I was almost saying to myself, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I don't need any help. I've got this. Reality was I didn't have it. And I was turning to sources on the internet, and the internet is a great and wonderful place. It really is. And there is lots and lots of information out there, a lot. But sometimes that information is conflicting. And I was being left totally confused about what I should do, when I should do, what I should eat, how much I should eat, what type of foods I should eat, how I should cook it, when I should cook it. There was just so much information. So I decided to strip it all back. And the first place that I went was my GP's practice. I went to my GP and I asked for help. And they actually referred me to a specialist weight management clinic for advice and support around my eating. And I did that on my journey, and then they actually recommended that I join Weight Watchers to get that structure, But yeah, I actually went to my GP and asked for help. And there was no shame in that. There was no shame, and there was lots and lots of support available. So those are 5 mistakes that I made prior to my 50s. I made those mistakes all through my 20s, my 30s and my 40s and the first part of my 50s. And those mistakes contributed to me gaining weight and losing control of myself and not understanding my body and what causes and creates weight loss. But then when I was 52, joined Weight Watchers, and it wasn't really until I hit 54, it was 2 years in, that I realised actually I'm on Weight Watchers, but something needs to change because it wasn't quite working for me. And in the last 3.5 years, changed that, and that is where I've got the bulk of my weight loss. And now the last 6 months I'm on Manjaro. Again, full disclaimer, I'm on Manjaro. So I lost about 130 pounds, so just under 10 stone. First with Weight Watchers, but then the bulk of that was intermittent fasting, mindful eating, and nourishing my body with the foods that would support my body. Didn't count calories or sins or points or anything like that. I didn't do any of that. And I lost the bulk of my weight. And then the last 6 months, because I'm type 2 diabetic, I've been on Manjaro, and I've lost about, I think it's about 35, 36 pounds on Manjaro. About 35 pounds on Manjaro. But certainly the bulk of my weight has been intermittent fasting and eating whole foods. So guys, those are 5 of the biggest mistakes that I have made in my 20s, 30s, 40s and early part of my 50s that really held me back from achieving my weight loss goals. And once I changed those and stopped making those mistakes and put new things in place, I've just seen success consistently, month after month after month. So guys, those are the lessons that I've learned, and I hope that they can help you. It might help you save time, energy and disappointment as well, because I know that it can be really disappointing when we're putting in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and we're not seeing the results. Now, there are more mistakes that I made and different things that I did put in place to support me on the journey, and I will do another video about that. So if you want to hear that, then feel free to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell, and then as I upload that video you will be notified. So guys, remember, this is your journey. Be kind to yourself and stay committed to you, your goals and your health. And when you are committed, then it's easier to become consistent. And don't ever give up on you. Don't give up on you and your health and your goals. So guys, if this video has helped you, then please give it the thumbs up. Just to show me that you have enjoyed it and found it very useful. It also helps the algorithm as well to know that you've enjoyed it, and then it will put the video out to other people. And if you want more real talk about the weight loss journey, hints and tips that might support you, if you want a coaching perspective as well, then feel free to hit that subscribe button and be part of my community. What I'd love to know, guys, and I'd love for you to drop it in the comment box, is what has been your biggest lesson on your health and wellness journey. I'd love to know. Drop it in the comments. And guys, I've mentioned that I am going to be doing some videos from a coaching perspective. So if you have any questions about your weight loss journey, it may be that you've hit a brick wall, it might be that you're struggling with something, it might be that you've come up against some challenges and you need a coach perspective to help you move forward, then do drop me a comment in the comment box below, or send me a message on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. I was just thinking of my socials. Feel free to drop me a message and I will do that. I will be your weight loss agony aunt. Yeah, I'll be your weight loss agony aunt. So do drop me a message with your challenge and put as much detail in as possible, and I will respond with a video. So guys, that is it from me. Whatever you're doing, look after yourself, indulge in some self-care today, and I will see you on another video soon. Take care now. Bye.